My husband used to work for his father in the morning, and then he would come up here and help me with the kids. So he was a man of many trades. He used to drive his truck along the top of the tank dam, and I would always tell him, Charles, you're going to fall into that tank. But he was a farmer, and he knew what he was doing. He was a man after God's own heart. He would give his shirt off of his back if anybody needed it, you know. My name is Geraldine Lee. I am 82. In March, I'll be 83. Our property's been in the family over 150 years. We're privileged to be able to have the land that my father-in-law purchased for the families.
It's very special. She calls it's like a special treasure. My dad and my papa and many people work very hard to put it all together. And we're trying to keep it going. It's so special. I love being here and knowing you're on property that your papa worked so hard for, your dad worked so hard for, and your relatives were all here. To me, that's phenomenal. I love doing that. And I love keeping it going for my kids. It's a real foundation for them. You know, it's everything in their life. And it's our focal point. It's where we meet because it's so much a part of who we are. I feel like Daddy would really, really be proud of us.
I'm a fifth-generation Texan. My great-great-grandfather, Max Beals, immigrated from Galveston. The farm was purchased, and my great-great-grandfather received title to this land in 1909. He was one of the first settlers here. He built the house and immediately put a windmill in. For whatever reason, this windmill has never run dry. My great-great-grandfather, when he settled, he raised cotton, he raised hogs, chickens, cattle, and all of this is done with 4 mules. He didn't get his first mechanized tractor until maybe 1930 or so. Farming is an everyday, all-day job. I believe that the nation's farmers, on their own, provided this country with meat and food for the table.
My great-grandfather, John Klattenhoff, came to the United States from Germany when he was 17.
John is my great-grandfather, and my grandfather was Fred Klattenhoff, so we're part of that tribe.
They lived on this property. It's a farm of roughly 300 plus acres. The land was purchased in 1890. It was roughly 20 years after the end of the Civil War.
You come over here with everything you own in a suitcase. You work for your brother for 2 years to pay for your passage, and then you go out and start buying on your own. We talk about this property here being 130 years in our family, and it's interesting to see how things have changed. Back in the early days when John was here, 40 acres was about all a farmer could handle.
And in order to farm, you had to have water close by. And it was vastly important to have a source that was reliable and sustainable.
Water's a precious thing. You do your best to keep what the good Lord provides and always look for other sources.
We have, as the crow flies, 15 miles away, less than 15 miles, we have Samsung that is coming in and the associated facilities that support it. So what has happened there is farmland has been taken out of production. So we as a family have agreed that we are going to maintain this farm as long as we can. It isn't the money that we make from it because we don't make much at all. So it's not in the money, it's the heritage and it's what our forefathers and foremothers brought to this country and brought to Williamson County that we still believe in heartily. We are very proud to be part of the Texas Farm Heritage Program, where the farm has been in the continuous use by our family for over 100 years. And it means a lot to us because we believe we understand what our family was about when they came here.
For being 150 years, We went to the ceremony at the Capitol. We went up there and had the ceremony, and they were really, really nice. They helped us on the stage, gave us the plaque, gave us a flag. It was an honor to receive that, because I think back, the least we can do is to carry on. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. I hope that I don't ever have to sell it, that it can be to the children. I would like to keep the land as much as I possibly can in the family. That means a lot, and I intend to leave it like that.
The state of Texas, I think, with the Land Heritage Program is doing a great job in recognizing farmers, the family farmers. I think it shines a spotlight on the people who really deserve it, who have worked their whole life in the background, doing the things that need to be done to feed this country. Being able to be at the Capitol with my mom and dad as they received the 100-year award, it really meant a lot to them, and it really kind of tied the history together.
Extremely proud of the families that have kept the land together 100, 150, 200 years. I've had the opportunity to visit with some friends of mine who they talk about how it's always a challenge as the new generations come along that aren't very close to the farm, and they have different wants, different needs, and it's a hard sell sometimes.
We were a 130-year-old farm in 2003. And at the time, we didn't even think about, that we'd all still be alive to actually be a 150-year honoree also. We lost my dad in 2020, and we knew this was coming up, and it was all the more emotional for all of us to do this for my dad. My dad is such a humble man, and Paul Harvey's poem, "And God Made a Farmer," exemplifies my dad, and it was just wonderful at the 100 years for him to get that recognition.
I wish my dad could have been there so much. He sacrificed so much for us, and I feel like he gave us, oh my goodness, he gave us something so special. And I'm able to give my children. They're getting something from Papa, from great-grandpa. They're getting gifts still from them. I really appreciated the Family Land Heritage Society, and really, I feel like we were honoring my dad and my papa and so many previous generations. I didn't get to know a lot of them, but through this whole program, I felt like that was a way to honor all of that. I feel like maybe it would help other families stick it out. Don't sell. Don't sell. It's such a precious gift. Keep it in the family at all costs, whatever it takes. Don't lose it. That's it.